Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to back into our berth, and we're on the Maritimo X50, so we're 50 foot long, and we're just going to get ourselves down into the channel here. So the wind is coming from the west. It's a very gentle breeze, not much at all. Alright, so first things first, we're going to just get ourselves down the channel. Now we've got the wind just gently, it's a very gentle breeze, it's on our port shoulder, so as we're coming down this channel, we want to make sure that we orientate ourselves slightly further over to the port side, because that's the way the wind is pushing us. If you look at the bow, you can actually see the bow is travelling off to starboard, and that's in part due to the gentle breeze we have. So as you come in, if there's a fairly stiff breeze, you can actually come in on the starboard engine, which will turn the bow up into the wind, and it gives us an angle of yaw, which is, I guess, a bit like an aircraft coming into land in a crosswind runway. We have a bit of an angle of yaw and to keep the boat going straight down the channel. So it looks pretty good at the moment, so I'll just go both engines ahead, and our berth is just down towards the end. So we'll just go nice and gently, and I'm just working from one engine to the other engine, just to keep our speed down. We don't want too much weight in the marina. Now I do notice I'm starting to be pushed over a little bit to starboard, so I'm going to compensate slightly by going ahead a bit more on that starboard engine, which is just turning our bow to port, as you can see, and keeping us away from our hazards on the starboard side. You do not want to get close to those hazards on the starboard side, because if you do, when you try to get away, the pivot point on this boat is in the middle, so as you try to get away, you'll hit the stern onto those boats. So that's something you need to be quite careful of. Always allow yourself enough wiggle room and don't get trapped downwind in a tight channel like this. Okay, so what we're going to do first is figure out which berth we are. That's always the challenging part. So it looks like we're in here. Now we're in the middle of the channel, and I'm just going to arrest all forward momentum. I could either use both ends in reverse, but I'm going to kill two birds with one stone here, and I'm going to pop my starboard engine into reverse. Now the wind is assisting the bow with its turn. We do have bow and stern thrusters on this vessel, but I'm going to try and do this without. I should be able to do this evening without any thrusters. There's not enough wind to be worried about. So I'll just bring it back. The key is just ever so gently, ever so gently. Don't use much power at all. Power will just cause you drown. We don't want that. Okay, so as we're coming in, and gently. And I just need that wind to push my bow around a little bit more. Okay, so it's just a little bit ahead on the port engine. It's just not enough wind. I hope there'll be a little bit of wind to push us away, but the wind is just completely died off here. So I'm going to have to cheat a little bit. I'm going to use a little bit of thruster. So we're just going to bow thrust, a little bit to starboard. I know I try not to, but we'll see how we go. So stern's coming over this way. I can either choose to thrust the stern that way, or simply, I'm not going to bother using the thruster, I'll just go ahead on my starboard engine. And again, just pull back on the port engine, bring the stern to where we want. That's nice, that's looking much better, much happier with that. Good, thrust that bow around a little bit. Straighten the boat up. Take all the time in the world you need here, because you've got that breeze gently pushing us out. The key is just slowly, 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 slowly. And the better a boat handler you are, the longer you'll be spending in neutral. So our starboard quarter is starting to get a little bit close to the cushion, so I'm going to pull it away with a little bit of reverse on the starboard engine. Now the key also here, there's a lot of keys, I keep mentioning keys, but basically as you're coming in, you want to make sure that the boat is parallel. So have a quick look in front, and you'll just see that bow, and you don't want it to be coming in at an angle, you want to be parallel. So when you get to know your berth, you'll learn which boat in front you should be pointing at. You really don't want to be coming in here diagonally, you want to be nice and parallel. Now all I'm doing is just working the gears between the port and starboard engine, and we got plenty of momentum backwards, so I'm not going to use any more reverse. She's coming in plenty fast, and I'm just getting ready to go into forward on both engines in 3, 2, 1, gently forward, both engines, boom, and we're ready to put the lines on. It's as that the biggest thing that you need to just bear in mind is just try and relax and try not to fall into that pitfall of giving it power. If you start to raise, you'll get yourself into trouble. Well, hopefully you found that useful, and we'll be up with more videos sometime pretty soon, so make sure you follow.